We will start momentarily.
All right.
Hi, everyone. Shana Tova. It is great to be with all of you on this Yom Kippur morning. We are going to start with a song about being friends and making amends.
Let's be friends, make amends. Now's the time to say I'm sorry. Let's be friends, make amends. Please say you'll forgive me. Let's be friends, make amends. Now's the time to say I'm sorry. Let's be friends, make amends. Please say you'll forgive me. The 10 days of Teshuvah, time to make up, time to pray. Take my hand and I'll take yours. Let's be friends for always. Let's be friends, make amends. Now's the time to say I'm sorry. Let's be friends, make amends. Please say you'll forgive me.
Today is Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. On Yom Kippur, it is a day of thinking and remembering. Yom Kippur is a day to remember how we acted in this past year. Yom Kippur gives us an opportunity to think about how we could have done a little better. And Yom Kippur is a day to think about who we want to be in this new year. Yom Kippur gives us an opportunity to say, I'm sorry, and to start over again. As we begin our service today, we ask God to listen carefully to our apologies, our prayers, and our promises for this new year. And we're going to go back to all of that a little bit later in our service. But before we do, let us enter into prayer. And the way we enter into prayer is always with this call to worship, the Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam vaed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam vaed.
God's love stretches from top to bottom. It stretches and grows and melds from beginning to end. And God's love reaches from start to finish. It reaches and spreads, forgetting just where it began. God's love teaches with stories and laws, rules and prayers. It teaches us how best to live. In love, we listen. We too can stretch. We too can reach. And we too can teach as we seek the new year ahead. Wrap us up in your peace like a great big talit. Hold us close with this prayer in your love. Baruch atah Adonai habocher ba'amo Yisrael b'yahava. Blessed are you, Adonai, who chooses us, your people Israel, with love. We're going to go into the Shema Prayer in just a second. And there's something that's really unique about the Shema, specifically on Yom Kippur. Because usually when we sing the Shema, we sing Shema Yisrael, or whatever melody we're singing. The cantor will lead us in that beautifully. But the second line, we usually say in more of a whisper, not a total whisper, but more of a whisper. But on Yom Kippur, we sing both lines equally as loud. And the reason we do that is because on this day of Yom Kippur, on this day of atonement, on this day at the beginning of the year, we are especially thankful for God and this world around us. And so we want to express that thanks.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Now you sing it with me. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Your turn. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart. Teach them faithfully, teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise. Bind them for a sign, bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be a symbol, that they may be a symbol between your eyes. Write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gates, and upon your gates. And we do all this so that we can teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise, when you rise, when you rise.
We turn to our Micha Mocha prayer, where we say, who is like you, God? You have created miracles, the miracle of the parting of the sea so that our people could cross on dry land, the miracles that we witness each and every day.
Micha Mocha Bailima Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora deilot osef elei.
I mentioned before, a big part of our Yom Kippur observance is thinking about things that we've done wrong in this past year and things that we've done right. There's an idea that every year God is just kind of seeing, and we should look within ourselves too, to see how our year has balanced out. Have we done more good things than we've done things that are harmful? Have we truly lived up to our potential? And so what I want us to do now is we begin to go into the part of the service that's about confessing, that's about saying the things that we're sorry for, is I want us to think about just one thing that we did wrong in this past year that we are really, really sorry about, and that we want to make sure that we don't make that mistake in this coming year. So I want you to think about that as we sing the words of Untitled Chapter.
ונתן תוקף, ונתן תוקף, קדושת היום. ונתן תוקף, ונתן תוקף, קדושת היום. כי הוא נורא. ונתן תוקף, ונתן תוקף, קדושת היום. ונתן תוקף, ונתן תוקף, קדושת היום. בראש השנה ייכתבון, ייכתבון, וביום צום כיפור יחתמון, יחתמון.
Today, you open the book of life so that we can read as written on the pages. Today, you ask us to open our hearts and reflect on what we have said and done this past year. On Rosh Hashanah, it is written, and on Yom Kippur, it is sealed. But throughout the year, the book of life is open, and the choices we make leave a mark on our world. And so we ask ourselves and each other, who will choose to live a good life? Whose hands will cause hurt and whose hands will help heal? Who will speak up and who will be silent? Who will be wise enough to learn from others? Who will be strong enough to make good choices? Who will be greedy and who will be grateful? Who will break people down and who will build people up? Who will choose to be a blessing? We're going to turn a little bit further. Uteshuva, utefila, usedaka. Through return to the right path, through prayer and through righteous giving, we can earn a new page in the book of life and we can write a better story in the new year.
Uteshuva, utefila, usedaka. Mavirin et roa hagzera.
As we turn to our confessions, there is a tradition that we make a slight tap against ourselves as we confess to each of the things that we have done or that other people have done. We're a community, and so we try to take responsibility with one another. But today, what I want us to do is to open our hands and to place our hand over our heart each time we say one of these things that we've done wrong. Not with a fist, but with an open hand to say, yeah, I know that I made mistakes in this past year and I vow to do better. I'm going to open my heart in love. I ate all the cake Mama saved for our guests. I broke her blue vase and I left a big mess. I cried, kicked, and screamed till I got my own way. I didn't clean up my old clothes for 12 days. I erased the great novel that Daddy was writing. I frightened the cat with my scratching and biting. I gossiped and told tales I knew weren't true. I happened to fill Susie's slippers with glue. I did it. I'm sorry. Next year I'll be good. I'll try to be better and do what I should. There's no one to blame. The fault was all mine. Forgive me. I won't do the same things next time. I ignored the advice of my parents and teachers. I jumped on the bed like some wild, crazy creature. I knew it was wrong, but it seemed like such fun. I lied just a bit when they'd asked what I'd done. I misbehaved terribly during the year. I nagged at my parents and drove them to tears. I organized protests to close down the school. I pushed when they told me quite clearly to pull. I did it. I'm sorry. Next year I'll be good. I try to be better, to do what I should. There's no one to blame. The fault was all mine. Forgive me. I won't do the same thing next time. I quacked like a duck while the teacher was talking. I ranted and raved with cacophonous squawking. I said I would do things, but never did do them. I told tales of homeworks and doggies that chew them. I used Tammy's toys that she said not to touch. I vanished before I could help very much. I walked uninvited through Mrs. Kemp's courtyard. I X'd out the F's for my last year's report card. I yelled till I made all the neighbors' ears sore. I zoomed on my bike across the fresh painted floor. I did it. I'm sorry. Next year I'll be good. I'll try to be better and do what I should. There's no one to blame. The fault was all mine. Forgive me. I won't do the same thing next time.
כולם אלוה סליחות סלח לנו מחלנו כפר לנו ועל כולם אלוה סליחות סלח לנו מחלנו סלח לנו מחלנו כפר לנו.
For all these things, God of forgiveness, forgive us, pardon us, grant us atonement. We are sorry for hurting people and not caring enough to apologize. We are sorry for forgetting to say the nice things and remembering to say what hurts. We are sorry for being angry and hanging on to bitterness. We are sorry for ignoring a friend who needs our love. We are sorry for ignoring classmates and colleagues who deserve our respect. We are sorry for teasing our brothers or sisters who deserve our understanding. We are sorry for criticizing our parents who deserve our appreciation. We are sorry for being mean to ourselves when we also deserve our own love.
ועל כולם אלוה סליחות סלח לנו מחלנו כפר לנו ועל כולם אלוה סליחות סלח לנו מחלנו סלח לנו מחלנו כפר לנו.
For all these things, grant us atonement. We turn to Avinu Malkeinu, this important prayer where we stand before God and we say, God, I'm sorry. Listen to my prayers. I'm going to do better this year.
I'm sorry for what I did wrong. I'm sorry for what I did wrong. I'll try to be caring, more loving, more sharing. Forgive me for what I did wrong. I'll try to be the best that I can be. I'll try with all my might to do what I know that is right. Avinu Malkeinu, Konenu Vaneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Konenu Vaneinu, Yein Banu Maasim. Aseh Imanu, Tzedaka v'chesed. Aseh Imanu, Tzedaka v'chesed, ve'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Konenu Vaneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Konenu Vaneinu, Yein Banu Maasim.
We'll now go to our story where we learn a little bit about the land of no second chances.
Uh-oh. Let's try that again. Let's see. Hopefully it works this time. Nope. All right. We'll try it again. It looks like such a great story. I want to hear it. Let's see. I'm just going to stop sharing for just a moment and come right back to it, and maybe that will make the difference. No. Uh-oh. Thank you, Rabbi.
Give me 1 second. Sorry about this, guys. We needed another opportunity to say sorry during the service. So
Exactly.
it's all good.
The Land of No Second Chances, written by Rabbi Sam Karf. Larry Feynman's room was filled with toys and games that any 6-year-old boy would love, but Larry was interested in his racing cars. He had them in all shapes and in every color of the rainbow. Larry loved to race them against each other, to compare their designs and to sort them into groups by color, size, or speed. One day, while Larry was sorting his race cars, he noticed that one was missing. It was one of his favorite cars, a bright red Ferrari that had a yellow racing stripe down the middle. He looked under his bed, behind a stack of blocks in his closet, and even in the pockets of his favorite pair of blue jeans. The red Ferrari was nowhere to be found. Later that day, after Larry had turned the house upside down in search of his favorite car, the doorbell rang. Larry's friend Mark was standing at the door with the missing car in his outstretched. "Where'd you get that?" Larry asked Mark. "I borrowed it when we were playing yesterday," Mark answered nervously. He could tell that Larry was angry. "I just wanted to show my brother. It's so cool." "You stole it?" "I never gave you permission to take that car." "Well, I didn't think that you'd mind. I guess I wasn't thinking." Larry grabbed the car out of Mark's hand. "I'm never playing with you again. Ever. You're a big, awful thief." "I wasn't going to keep it," Mark said. "Really, please forgive me. I'm sorry." Larry glared at him. "No way. I don't forgive you." And he slammed the door in Mark's face. Larry returned the Ferrari to the box that held all the rest of the race cars. He started to play with them, but he wasn't in the mood. He was angry and upset for the rest of the day. At bedtime, his mother tucked him in and gave him a kiss. "Can't you turn that frown upside down?" she asked. "You look miserable." "I am miserable," Larry told her. "I have my red car back, but my best friend is an awful stealing jerk. Don't you think you could give Mark another chance?" "Never. No way. Why should I?" Larry said as he closed his eyes and tried to fall asleep and forget the whole bad day. Suddenly, Larry was in the car with his mom driving down the freeway. His mother was trying to find the exit sign so that she could get off. "Oh no," his mom said. "I guess I missed the exit." "Don't worry, Mom. We'll just take the next exit and turn around and go back." But Larry and his mom kept driving and driving, and there were no more exit signs. Then Larry saw a huge neon sign hanging over the freeway up ahead of them. As they got closer, they could tell that the sign said, "Welcome to the land of no second chances. If you miss the exit, tough, keep driving." A few miles later, there was an exit marked "Land of No Second Chances." "We better get off here," Larry's mom said, "or we might be on this freeway forever." The next thing Larry knew, he was in an unfamiliar classroom. All the kids were sitting at their desks taking a test. He looked down at his desk and there was a copy of the test, but he didn't understand any of the questions. Larry raised his hand and the teacher walked over to his desk. "What's the problem, son?" she asked in a harsh whisper. "What happens if I fail this test?" Larry asked. "You'll just repeat the first grade next year." "Just for one test? I never even learned this stuff. Can't I take it again later?" "No way. Never. Not here, young man. This is the land of no second chances." And the teacher hurried back to her own desk. Larry raised his hand again. This time the teacher signaled for Larry to come to her. "Now what?" "I just wondered if I could have a pencil eraser so that I could correct my mistakes." The teacher stood up with a grin on her face and addressed the entire class. "Children, would you like to hear something funny? This new boy, Larry, wants a pencil with an eraser." The whole class started to laugh. First little giggles and then huge loud chortles and goughs. Larry felt the tears gather in the corner of his eyes. "What's so funny?" he asked. "Our pencils have no erasers," said the teacher. "This is the land of no second chances. You aren't supposed to make mistakes." "I'm getting out of here," Larry screamed as he ran to the classroom as fast as he could And he ran down the hall and he turned the corner and he kept running until he came head to head with a little girl and they both fell onto the floor. "What's your problem?" the little girl shrieked. "I was right in front of you." "I'm so sorry," Larry said. "I was in a hurry. I didn't mean to hurt you. Honest, will you please forgive me?" "Not a chance," said the girl as she readjusted her barrette and gathered her books and papers. "We don't forgive here. I'm never going to play with you, and I'm going to tell everyone else not to play with you also. So there." Larry stood up and started running again. "I've got to find the door. I've got to get out of here. I need to get home," he thought. Just then, Larry felt a tight tap on his shoulder. "Shh! Wake up, Larry. I'm here. You must have had a bad dream." Larry opened his eyes and hugged his mother. "It was awful," he told her. "I was in the land of no second chances, and I couldn't leave." "That was just a silly old nightmare," his mom said. "Now get up and get dressed. It's time to go to temple. We don't want to be late for services." Larry jumped into his clothes and ran next door to Mark's house. When Mark answered the door, Larry handed him the red Ferrari. "What's this for?" Mark asked. "I want you to borrow it. I'm so sorry I got mad. Please say you'll forgive me. I know you didn't mean to steal it. Can we still be friends?" "Sure," Mark said. "But why are you so upset?" I just don't want to ever go back to the land of no second chances," said Larry. "The land of what?" asked Mark. "Never mind. I'll tell you about it later. Let's go to temple."
On this holiday of Yom Kippur, it is so important for us to think of ways to not only to ask for forgiveness, but also to forgive others, because that is how we restore our relationships and how we keep our friendships growing stronger than ever. This is a prayer for parents to say over their children. So if you happen to have children with you and you're a parent, I invite you to read these words with me. "May you be like Abraham and Sarah, who had the courage to believe in a God they could not see. May you be like Rebecca, who is kind to all people and animals. May you be like Jacob, who understood that God could be found everywhere. May you be like Miriam, whose love made her a protector. May you be like Moses, who wasn't afraid to ask for help. May all of our prayers be sweet to you, God, and may this new year be a good one." And together we say, Amen.
Amen.
"Just as you bless and keep me, I want you to know my blessing for you. May you always have patience for my silliness and teasing. May you always have hugs, both for giving and receiving. May you always feel pride when you see how I've grown. I'm lucky to love you." A prayer for children to their parents. And now we come together with one last prayer for community as we sing, "We are gifts and we are blessings."
We are gifts and we are blessings. We are history in song. We are hope and we are healing. We are learning to be strong. We are words and we are stories. We are pictures of the past. We are carriers of wisdom, not the first and not the last. Ledor vador nagid kolecha. Ledor vador, we protect this chain. From generation to generation, Ledor vador, these lips will praise your name. looking back on the journey that we carry in our hearts, from the shadow of the mountain to the waters that would part. We are blessed and we are holy. We are children of your way. And the words that bring us meaning, we will have the strength to say. Ledor vador nagid golecha. Ledor vador, we protect this chain. From generation to generation, Ledor vador, these lips will praise your name.
At the end of every service, or at the end of this service and at the end of Yom Kippur, we offer the words of the mourner's Kaddish in memory of people who have come before us, people who are no longer alive, but whose presence we feel every day. And so I want us to think about people who we remember as we offer the words of the mourner's Kaddish together. Yit kadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah. Ve'amrad yivrach haroteh ve'amlich malchoteh. V'chai echon v'yom echon. V'chai techol beit Yisrael. V'adalah v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mivrach le'olam olamei almaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach. V'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yinaseh. V'yitadar v'yitala v'yitalal. Shmei dekudusha barichu. La'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Damiram ve'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam.
We're so glad that we could start this morning of Yom Kippur with all of you. And I want to turn it over to Randy for a brief moment, just to say a few words to all of our Torah School families.
It's great to be here with all of you in such a meaningful and beautiful service. Thank you. It was really lovely. And I look forward to seeing all of you later today at another part of the service and on Sunday when Torah School resumes. For an easy fast and a meaningful fast for all of you.
Thank you so much, Randy. And I know that we are celebrating Yom Kippur today, but in just a few days, we will also be celebrating the holiday of Sukkot, and we're going to have opportunities to make decorations and to be within our sukkah. So stay tuned for more information about that. But as we go into the rest of our services for the day, I just want to give us a few things, a few reminders and things to look forward to. At 10:30, we're going to have our morning Yom Kippur service right here. At 12 o'clock, we'll have our Torah and Haftarah service. At 1:30, we are going to have a program where we hear the story of Jonah, and I'll be teaching a little bit about descent from a Jewish perspective, a little RBG thrown in there. At 3 o'clock, you actually will have an option. So in the chat, you'll notice that I just put a link there, which is to our healing service. I know
Our
that
meditation service, Rabbi.
Meditation, sorry. I'm thinking in two directions at once.
Okay.
This is for our meditation service. An email just went out recently with a link. There's two different options. One is a healing service that will be taking place at 3 o'clock, and the other one is a meditation service with Pam Tarlow. This is the link for meditation. The healing service will be right here in the same room. At 5 o'clock, we will have our Yizkor service of memory for all those who we are thinking of today who have died. And at 6 p.m., we will have our Ne'ilah service. So we have a jam-packed day. We look forward to seeing you for whatever you choose to come to. We hope that everyone has an easy fast. Gamar Chatima Tova. May you be sealed in the book of life.
Amen. Gamar Chatima Tova, everyone. And just to reiterate one